Well, we can at least call the meeting to order and start with the minutes. What do you think about that?
Sounds good.
Okay. Okay, I think I closed. You holler when we're on, Michelle,
Yeah,
or when you want me to start.
I just have.
Turn on. That's what it says.
Well, maybe, okay. So, video needs to go live, audio's already, there we go. There we go, we're there,
We're there?
I believe we're there.
Okay. I will call this Stark County PTABOA hearing today, October 23rd, 2025, to order. The board is here, county assessor's here, and the gentleman defending the assessments here. First on the agenda, the minutes from our last hearing on September 18th, 2025. So has everyone has an opportunity to review the minutes from that hearing? And if so, are there any corrections or additions or deletions?
I don't have any changes.
If not, I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes of September 18th, 2025 as presented.
I'll make that motion.
I will second. Motion carries. I'm going to assume that Mr. Smith is not going to attend. So we're going to start. Board. The next petitioner was scheduled to appear this date, Ronald and Jacqueline Smith. They were scheduled to appear at 9 o'clock this morning. It's now 9:07. I will ask the assessor if the petitioners, the Smiths, called and asked for the hearing to be rescheduled.
No,
Was the hearing notice returned as undeliverable?
no,
Okay, thank you. We will then proceed with this hearing in the absence of the petitioner. John, do you have any testimony or evidence that you would like to give? Let's see, I think the total assessed value being appealed for 2025 is 136,300. The petitioners contend that the assessed value is better represented at 117,000.
Yeah, this petitioner appealed last year and we made corrections. I did an inspection and it's double wide. That's in really bad condition. It's had some damage. Some of it's been repaired. A lot of it's not. I really it's got significant value reductions with excess obsolescence. There's really nothing more we can do. And I explained that to him in the field. And if you look at what he's indicated on value, land versus building, he's actually requesting a improvement value that's even higher than what we have, but it's the land that he's saying it's only worth 60,000. This is a 10-acre piece of land. So I did find a land sale that's comparable to his, and it should be in your packet. It actually consists of 2 parcels. Let's see if I got it documented here. Yeah. Yeah, the subject parcel is 10.16 acres of land improved with the home site, and it's valued at $85,000, which equates to $8,366 per acre. Now the comparable sale is a 2 parcel sale, which has, let's see, they're about 20 acres. And it sold for $197,000. And can't see where I put down cost per acre on that, but it's hot.
9,811,
$9,811 per acre.
which is
And it-
greater.
Yeah, and this is a very comparable piece of land. It's only, I think it's less than a mile away. And it's basically like his mostly wooded land. So I actually gave him a copy of this when I saw him in the field this summer to tell him that, you know, even with the land, I got a land sale that backs up our land value. I think that supports our land value, and there's really nothing more we can do on the building, so I would recommend no change in value.
Okay, and I believe also, John, that you alluded to when he filed the appeal last year, that, we lowered the condition rating, based on your recommendation and your field inspection at the time,
Right.
lowered the condition rating to poor and also applied a 50% functional obsolescence. And it's your contention that that remained.
Yeah,
Okay,
because he hadn't really done much of
Okay.
anything.
thank you. I have no other questions for John. Tori, any questions?
No, I don't.
Okay. If not. Any comments, Tori?
No, I actually make motion for no change.
And I will second. There's no change. For the assessed value for 2025. For the appeal filed by Mr. Smith. This hearing is adjourned. And our next hearing.
He sent that email last night that he will not be attending. He had found no further evidence from his client, the taxpayer, and that we should hear it in his absence.
Okay. And so so the property owner is Mark Schlebeck.
And I do send the 114 to the taxpayer as well as the tax.
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
But the taxpayer has not
Responded?
responded at all, and the tax rep said the taxpayer has not responded to him either.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so. This property. The Mark Schlebeck property. And he's being represented by a tax rep, Tim Parrish. And the total assessed value being appealed for 2025 is 569,200. There's no indicated on the appeal form, no indicated value that contention that they think the assessed value should be. There were no reasons given for filing the appeal. So I really don't know. And the petitioner had the burden. I don't know that John, do you want to make any comments about
Yeah,
this?
the petitioner had the burden because even though it went up 9.9%, the house had been remodeled recently, and for 1/1/24 was only 83% complete.
Mhm.
I did go ahead and do a comparable sales analysis though. And you should have a copy of that. This is a lakefront parcel on Coombs Lake. And I got 5 sales that are the comparable sales. These are from 23 and 24. To be included, there must be a ranch home with no basement on Coombs Lake, the single family living unit only, like the subject. And we come up with the 5 sales, and the average price per square foot for these, well, the average is $365.59 per square foot, and the median is $329.37 a square foot. The subject itself is only assessed at $296 dollars and 15 cents a square foot, so the sales indicate on a square foot basis, it's not being over assessed. And so I would recommend no change to this.
Okay. And I think that you also, thank you, John, I think you also said in 24, the value of the house was less because it wasn't completed.
Right.
But the house is now completed.
Right.
100% complete, yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay. I have no other questions or comments for John regarding the Schlebeck appeal. Tori, do you have any questions or comments?
No, make a motion for no change.
Okay, so Tori made a motion, no change on the assessed value for 2025. I will second, motion carries. This proceeding is concluded. Well, nobody wants to come see us this morning, Tori.
Oh.
Okay. The only thing left on our agenda is,
Two that were tabled.
correct. So Mr. Richard and Gina Albright.
Gina called me yesterday and said they have no further evidence, and I explained to her that you guys would make a decision today then, and then I'd send her the 115.
Okay. So we held a hearing, this is still being tape recorded, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we held a hearing for the Albrights, on September 19th, 2025. And they, Mr. Albright. Spoke and testified about his issues, and he felt that the assessment was too high based on being close to a solar farm. And so at the time, we allowed the petitioner to submit additional evidence in support of his contentions if he wanted to, which was a market analysis prepared by a local realtor that would indicate the negative impact the solar panels had on his property. And we also told Mr. Albright that we needed to have this requested evidence by our next hearing, which is today. Okay? Just a little backstory for everyone. And we do not have that evidence, so then we, the board, are going to make a decision on the evidence that was presented by Mr. Albright at the time of his hearing, which was September 19th. Based on that, I will make a motion that there is no change in the assessed value for the Albrights 2025 assessed value. Is there a second?
Also, yeah.
And Tori seconded. Motion carries. Okay. Next. Next. Mr. Sanchez. Okay, Mr. Sanchez. Same thing, Mr. Sanchez appeared before the board at our last hearing, September 19th, for a hearing, and we gave him an opportunity to submit requested evidence. Photos, my notes say, and John, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Photos of the 8x25 mechanical area.
Mhm.
And I think, John, you agreed to, anyway, John, do you want to speak to this?
Yeah, he was supposed to bring in photos, and actually he did send us photos. I have, you guys got color copies here.
Yeah. Okay.
That 8 by 25 section of the 2 story section of the house. Is depicted, the interior here is with these photos. The 1 of 2 is the first floor. I guess 2 different directions, and 2 of 2 is the second floor.
Okay,
And these are, we can see that they're utility areas. The issue was whether we were going to make a reduction for unfinished area. If you look at them, they're not totally unfinished areas, but they are utility rooms. So I don't know, I came up with 2 possible options if you're interested in the reduction of value. If you take the full 400 square foot off, that reduction of minus $20,900. If you split the difference and say, well, every house has a utility room, we don't normally take off, maybe we'll just take off the extra 1 floor, extra half of that, the 200 square foot, then that would be a reduction of $10,400 from the total value.
okay. Thank you. Sorry, let's talk about this one first. Thoughts? Thoughts?
I mean, it's like Johnson, it's not that it's not finished.
Right,
Yeah, it's small. I mean, you can't really use it for anything else.
right.
I guess you could maybe put a few boxes on there for storage or something if you want to, but it's not typical that we take those rooms off.
Right.
You guys don't typically do any kind of a
An
reduction
adjustment.
or just like, how do you typically handle that?
Yeah, we normally don't in a house. Now, I don't know if the total area as a percentage of, he does have a lot of finish area, so as a percentage of the total area, I suppose it's not necessarily that high. Because we're talking 400 square foot total. And we're looking at around 4,000, so that's only about 10% of the area. Is that what a typical utility room in a house would have? Like a 1,200 square foot would be like 120.
I mean, cause like I know in my basement is where I have all this, that portion of that room, which is kind of closed off, is
Yeah.
unusable. We can't do anything with it, but we still pay taxes on it because it's still a part of my house.
Right.
Like, that's my holdup with
And
it.
and that's my holdup too, because my laundry room, just because I don't sit out there and read. I mean, it's still heated
Right, it's still,
and
in here, and this is what we need to be.
there's still floor covering and
Right,
wall covering in my laundry room. And I would think, excuse me for interrupting, I don't. I understand his point of view, I just don't want to set a precedent.
that's what I was getting ready to say. We need to be uniformed. Like, is this something that if we, let's say we took off the full, is that something you guys are willing to go through and do for everybody that's in the situation? Like, cause that's not something we do. And so therefore, I don't personally feel like it should be adjusted.
I do too. I agree with Tori that it shouldn't
If
be.
it was unfinished, it would need to be handled like it would for any other home that had that space unfinished. But-
Right.
So personally, I
But
like
John
to-
he's just giving us options.
no, and I like that
I do
because
too. I
that
do
gives
too.
us an easier breakdown, really, and it's nice to see the
Yeah,
number.
my strongest recommendation would be against taking the full 400 off, but have no problem if you wanted to do 200, but yeah, it's up to you.
I just feel that it's our job to make sure we're uniformed, and it's the assessor's office job too, initially to make sure everything's uniformed.
I agree.
And I feel like if we come in and we change it because this is in front of our face, that's not fair to everybody else because that's not how we do it. So the decision in all honesty needs to be made. You're either gonna do it for everybody
Or no.
or not, and
Right. And then we could get down into nitty gritty even more so and. So my definition of unfinished, for example, and Tori's definition of unfinished could be totally, so now you're getting down the weeds, in my opinion.
mhm. Right.
Okay,
It's the
so are you
assessor's,
making,
it's the assessor's job to define it, and it's our job to review it, and I I want.
and then apply it.
Right, and I wanna keep Stark County as unified or uniform as you can,
Right.
so my motion would be for no change on this.
And I will second, will not make an adjustment for the utility area. We'll call it that, of, Mr. Hunch's property. Okay? Now, there's a second part, is that right, John? There's a second part?
Not, that was the issue.
Yeah.
That was the only issue?
Yeah. Oh, no,
Because
we've
some,
already dealt with it, Albright, and that was a lot.
No, but I meant for,
the.
so you talked about lowering the grade. Isn't there something else?
We kind of threw it around last time.
Right.
When we were,
So, because I have another,
but with,
lower, I'm sorry, go
I
ahead.
think with us saying that we didn't agree adjusting. Or are you talking?
I think
Already made a correction.
yeah, I lowered the grade informally already.
Oh,
Instead of settling, they didn't want to settle. This
Okay.
is the only sticking point they brought up for why they didn't want to settle.
Okay, so the grade issue has already been resolved, is that what you're
Yeah,
saying? Thank
it's a
you,
straight C grade, it's as low as I would.
Thank you.
Ever.
Okay, thank
consider.
you. Thank you. Okay. So. Is there any other business? This is the last hearing date this year for the 2025. There are no more 2025 appeals. Is that correct, Michelle?
That's correct.
Okay, so is there any more business that needs to be addressed or discussed before the board? Before I ask for an adjournment? John?
No.
Michelle?
Nope.
Sorry?
oh, ma'am.
Okay. If there's nothing else, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Oh, make the motion to adjourn.
Okay, and I will second. And thank you one and all. Thanks, John.
Okay.